So I'm going to talk about Korg. As you can see, this command in the background. I love the sounds of those wavetable chip synthesizers, including the one that the PC Engine has. Anyway, let's get to the point. Sorry about the camera focusing issues. And I don't know how to make this camera stand. On Reddit, I once called myself Korg supporter. And on some forums like the Future Sonus and on the Apple iTunes store, I call myself Korg fan. Here's why I'm a fan of Korg. My interest in synthesizers actually started with trackers. I really wanted a nitro tracker for the DS, but I was looking for tracker alternatives. I tried synthesizers like M1D and DSN-12. The more I got into DSN-12, I fell in love with making patches. Even if I had no idea what I was doing, I made lots of cool patches. Maybe I'll upload a sound bank of patches I made in IDS-10, which many of them were converted from DSN-12 patches. You know what I love about Korg? They're the only Japanese synthesizer company that still has a healthy lineup of consumer-friendly synthesizer products and apps. Sure, their apps need audio unit support and need improved MIDI, but I love Korg. Korg has always, unlike other Japanese synthesizer companies, except for some of the things Yamaha did, Korg has always tried something creative. Do you know that they actually created the first handheld tuner? I know, right? They also created one of the first affordable analog polysynths, the Polysynth, whose sound I absolutely adore. They also created a vector synthesizer called the iWave Station, the first hi-fi PCM workstation, the M1. Let's talk about some of my favorite things they did. They created some interesting monosynths which you can find on eBay. They created some string machines like the Lambda. I think the Yamaha SK series sounds better, but the Lambda is still pretty cool, and Delta are still pretty cool. They also created the very first chiptune synthesizer. Yep. Except for those Casio and Yamaha toy keyboards. Korg actually created the first chiptune synthesizer. Surprise, surprise, the Poly 800. Many think it's just an analog synthesizer. But ever wonder why it only has one filter? The synthesizer itself actually uses an obscure synthesizer chip used in some arcade games. That explains why it sounds so chiptune, or often like a PC Engine. They also created the first hybrid PCM synthesizer called the DW6000, a year before the Sonic ESQ1 came out. And they were once used by Yamaha for a short time. So they did create the DS8 and some other Yamaha's synthesizer. They created one of the very first affordable samplers, the DSS-1. They created a really cool vector synthesizer called the Wave Station, which for some reason reminds me of the PlayStation. They also created the Z1 and the Moss synthesizer DSP. They created groove boxes like the Electribe. They created the Radius. Their MS-2000, while only has 4 voices, sounds really cool. Oh, speaking of MS, I forgot to mention the MS synthesizers. They created MS-10, the very first affordable monophonic synthesizer, and they created a successor called MS-20, which is freaking awesome. But, in my opinion, although they did some cool things in the 2000s, like the Chaos pads, and of course, they tried bringing synthesizers to different demographics. Yep, they they were licensed by a game developer to create the DS10 for the Nintendo DS. It was so successful that the same developer created the MO1. They also teamed up with another company to create a synthesizer kit for kids called the Little Bits. Other than those Yamaha toy synthesizers and Casio tones, what other synthesizer company has made synthesizers for kids? But in my opinion, the 2010s was when Korg was really shining in terms of synthesizers. They created some cool apps like the IMS-20 and iPoly-6. They created the Korg Gadget at a time when audio units were non-existent for iPads. They brought back the MS-20, and they also brought back the Arbasi. Yep, without Korg, we would not have an affordable Arbasi. I think they mass produce Arbasi, which is why it's so affordable, and the Mini Moog reissue is still not affordable. We need to mass produce analog synthesizers like what Korg is doing. It also created the first affordable polyphonic modern analog synth called the Minilog, which sounds nice. And they're still making great apps, especially the iWave Station and the Art Odyssey. I wonder what Korg will reveal during the Winter NAMM show. Well, Korg doesn't just have a healthy lineup. They have one of the best synthesizer Facebook pages compared to Casio, Yamaha, and Roland on Facebook. Korg, they don't always do great but on Facebook, but their Facebook page is awesome. They sometimes show that they never forget the old synthesizers, including the Mini Korg. They're not afraid to show third-party demo videos and third-party patches, as well as cool articles that exploit the features of their synthesizers, which is what other Facebook pages aren't doing. So, other synthesizer companies, especially for you, Yamaha, need to look up to Korg as an example.